Hey everybody, today I'm with Fred, my second campervan conversion that I rent out. I have a total of 7. If you do want to check all of them out, go to qcampervans.ca. But the purpose of today's video is to look at this guy right here. This is my shower that I have equipped on all of my campervan rentals, and I'm going to show you how to use it and some tips and tricks to make sure that when you rent one of my campervans, you never have any troubles. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is set the shower up and get everything in its functional state. So everything you see here is provided in the campervan rental. The propane tank is included, and you will never run out of it because the shower is very efficient. So don't worry about that. Everything is provided. So let me set it up for you guys. The first thing is everything is color coded. So although there's a couple tubes that make it seem intimidating, it's actually not too bad. So the first one is blue, and it has a filter on the end. Now, I've already filled this up, but you can fill this up using any freshwater source. That can be lake water, river water, you know, anything that's not incredibly murky. This will filter out most of the gunk. So you put the filter in there, and then this side goes to the pump. Now, this pump is powered through my battery system, and all my vans have a power cord that is usually under the bed on the left side. On the back, there's a direction of flow, so you'll always want to put it on this side because the arrow will point to the left there. So I'm going to attach this hose to that one. If those are hard to put on, you can take some dish soap and put it on the ends to help them slide in easier. This other blue one goes to the other side, just like that. You can set it there. And then this side goes to the blue connection port underneath the unit itself. So now the blue is done. Next, you'll take the red pipe and you'll connect the red pipe to the red port underneath here. They're color coded. And then you'll take the other side and put it to the nozzle here. So now the red is done. Tidy that up. The last thing, if you want hot water, is to connect the propane tank. So what you do here is take this end, screw it onto the propane tank, just like that, until you hear a little t. And then on this side, there's a quick release. You'll have to pull that down before you connect it, and put that on the metal piece underneath here. Now it's all set up, so you're good to go. Okay, now I'll fire it up using hot water. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure the pump is on, as always. Make sure the propane tank is all the way on, and the connection here is tight. If this has some debris in it, or like a rock, and it doesn't seal properly, this will not heat up. So make sure that is clear and connected. You'll hear a little once you connect it. So pretty much all you do once that is turned on and this is on, you're controlling it directly from here, same as when it's cold, and you'll hear this go as it ignites, and that's what the propane helps to do. So you do that, and then it fires up. Now this is hot water, just like a normal shower. Now if you want this to be hotter, then you would use this knob here. So I already had it at the hottest setting. You can turn it down if you want slightly cooler. Also, if you want more to come out, you can turn this to the right. If you want less, you can turn it to the left. Other than that, that's what controls the unit itself. The last thing is troubleshooting. So sometimes you might run into a problem where this doesn't actually heat the water or fire up completely, and that's most likely due to dead batteries. Now this helps ignite it, so I always have 2 spares at least, at minimum, in the Tupperware containers that are included in the van. So there's 2 extras at all times. So you swap those out and put it back in the unit. If for some other reason it doesn't work or it doesn't heat up, it's most likely because your connection here is not good. And then in very rare circumstances, you may have to disconnect the propane. So close the unit, the valve first, disconnect this, and then purge the propane connection a couple times until you hear a little clunk in the unit itself. So do that a couple times, clunk, clunk. I don't know if you could hear it, but I could hear it. It's a little clunk sound. Do that a couple times and then reconnect the propane. Make sure that's firmly connected. Give it a little tug, and then you can open it again and try to heat up the unit once more. Okay, last thing I'll do here is just give you a close-up of the setup so that you can get a detailed look. So this is the water jug. You would take this to a river, lake, campsite, faucet, whatever you can fill with fresh water you can use here. So this is the filter, and it runs with this hose here, runs with that hose here to the pump, which the power cord usually on the left side underneath the bed is located, and you simply plug that in there in the back, and then there's a switch on the back as well. So that's the on and off switch for the pump. You know which side to connect it on because there's an arrow for direction of flow. So you'd put the first hose on the right side of that arrow pointing to the left, and then you'd take the other side, put it down here, and then it runs to the bottom to the blue one here. Then the red one connects to the red one here, and then runs all the way to the faucet. Now this has a magnet on the back, and you can connect this pretty much anywhere where this red tube will reach. You can connect that over here. Let's say we'll put it right by the Q Campervan logo. You can run it wherever that hose will reach if there's a magnet on the end. And then the last thing, if you want hot water, is to connect the metal to the metal there, and that runs to the propane tank there. And like I was saying, make sure that it doesn't have any debris in it so it seats properly and allows the propane to come out. And so that's, when it's in the van, you want to make sure that's closed, and then when you're using it, open it all the way up. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different method if you just want cold water. And basically what you do, and it's much simpler, is you take your filter tube, you put that inside, and then run that to your pump, and same as when you wanted hot water, run that to the arrow this way on that connection port, and then run the other blue side to directly to the faucet here. And so essentially you're completely skipping the heating unit and just using the pump. So now you'll just use this and turn it on and off directly with that. Now that's if you want cold water. Just to give you a close-up of the cold water setup, it's very similar. You're just bypassing this unit. So you, again, like the hot water, you'd put that in the jug there, run it to the pump here, same thing as the hot water, but then you would simply run this blue tube, and instead of connecting it here, I'll turn this pump off. What you would do is you would run this end of the blue one, which I don't know if you can see, there you go. You run this one to the actual faucet over here. So you'd run that to the faucet there. And that's all you would need for cold water shower. This is the temperature control. So you can turn that to the left if you want colder, and this is the hottest. And then if you want more flow coming out of the faucet, you can, or the shower head, you can turn that to the right. And then if you want less, you can turn that to the left. And then again, if it doesn't fire up and heat, it's probably because these batteries are dead, and I have replacements of these. So just make sure that's correct, and then pop them back in, just like that. And then you should be good to go.